Hi guys, and welcome to another episode on Lola OJ TV. You already know, before we do anything, make sure you hit the subscribe button below. And I just want to say, I hope you guys are doing well. And as the title suggests, this is going to be a video about my top 5 books that were basically more impactful. Now, not my favorite books, but 5 books that are sure to be somewhat life-changing. So let's get started. Okay, so book number 1. If you follow me on Snapchat, you know I talk about this book all the time. And my Snapchat is Lola OJ TV, by the way. Now, this book was life-changing. It was one of the main books that really had a positive impact on my life, like directly. And this is Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Now, it's not overhyped. When they say over 60 million copies sold, they are not joking. This book was life-changing for me. I was one of those people, even though I'm an extrovert, so people think, when you put me in a social situation or a networking situation and I don't know anyone, I freeze. I don't know how to interact. When they communicate with me, I didn't know how to respond. And I was just a mess. Like, I used to literally follow my friend around to networking events, and when she used to get business cards, I used to just get it as well. Not that I actually built the rapport. So this book takes you through step by step how to win people over to your point of view and how to allow your influence to really penetrate others. What's really good is it's written in quite a conversational style, meaning they kind of put scenarios that allow you to understand what they're saying rather than just telling you to do this, this, and this. So initially, when you read this book, I would say write notes and be quite intentional and strategic with your, with your meetings with other people. Try and implement what you see in the book in real life. And before you know it, it will become second nature. So if you're someone that really wants to go out there and know how to communicate your best, you want to leave every conversation having added something to the person and taken something away, How to Win Friends and Influence People is a life-changing book. It changed my life. I don't know if I'll be able to actually sit here and be doing this, if not for the kind of confidence that this book gave me, of course, amongst other things. So yeah, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Dope. Book number 2. Now, this one is by Uncle Brian Tracy, The Psychology of Selling. Now, even if you don't have a business, I just think this book is a really useful book. Because what we don't realize sometimes is when we're trying to sell things to people, we're selling things to them in the way we think is best, which when you read this book, you realize that's not how you sell to people. This book literally breaks it down on the things and basically the elements that make people want to buy things. So rather than saying, oh, I've got this is the cost, or trying to shove a cost down someone's throat, this book, The Psychology of Selling, allows you to understand why people buy things, why they don't buy things, and how you can get them to buy things. So if you have a business, it's so useful, because no joke, if you read this, you will know how to sell things a lot better rather than just shoving promos down people's throats. It would show you and tell you how best people like to receive, how they prefer to receive adverts and how best to sell things to them, rather than, it's not really about the selling, it's about the psychology of knowing what your customer or consumer wants. So Brian Tracy, he's one of my favorite people in the world, right? And I met him in Nigeria. I know, it's crazy. So yeah, The Psychology of Selling. If you're a business owner, it's a must read. But if you're just somebody that wants to learn more about life and you may be in a situation where you have to sell, get this book. Book number 3. Now this book, again, is by Dale Carnegie. He's amazing, so I'm very fond of reading his books. Make Yourself Unforgettable. How to Become the Person Everyone Remembers and No One Resists. Now, this is different from How to Win Friends and Influence People, but it's still around the same kind of notion. Now, what this book does is it teaches you how to be memorable. Basically, no matter what interaction you have, how to leave that place and have people remember who you are. So this book is pretty amazing, and let me just read the back. Make Yourself Unforgettable takes an in-depth look at the 10 essential elements of being memorable and gives readers a step-by-step guide for developing and embodying them. What does it mean to have class? How do you distinguish yourself from the crowd and become a successful leader? So basically, that is what this book does. It gives you the key core elements on how to be memorable and for all the right reasons. So, Make Yourself Unforgettable, How to Become the Person Everybody Remembers and No One Can Resist. Book number 4. Now, apologies if I kill the name, Robert T. Kiyosaki, but you know the book title. I'm talking about Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, as you can see, I've already got a post-it in it. I think I'm on my second or third read of this book. I'm currently in chapter 3, which is Mind Your Own Business. Now, the only thing about this book is I wish I had read it when I was like 12 or something. This book literally takes you through how to understand money and how someone who has a rich dad, someone who has a poor dad, how their mentality towards money can greatly shape how good you can do with, how well you are with money. So it really teaches you the things that are liabilities, how to get your priorities straight, what to spend your money on, what not to spend your money on, and how you think about money. So it really deals with not just, oh, save this much, you'll get this much, but how you think and deal with money, which I think has a very direct impact to how wealthy you become, is how you treat money. So basically what he says is, focus on your assets and not your liabilities. Very basic stuff that, unfortunately, we had to make so many mistakes before we're at the place we're at now, where now, of course, you make sure that your income is more than your outcome. At one point in my life, I think I was just spending anyhow, right? Meaning I didn't have any savings or anything. Now, this book really tackles that and allows you to understand that mentally, you have to understand money and not just waste it. So, yeah, Rich Dad or Poor Dad, explode the myth that you need to earn a high income to become rich. Another thing, challenge the belief that your house is an asset. Show parents why they can't rely on the school system to teach their kids about money. That is so vital. I mean, you go to uni, student loans, debt. I mean, you need to start teaching financial, what do you call it? You need to start teaching kids about money before they get to school. No joke. I wish I knew a lot more when I was younger. I would have avoided many mistakes. So yeah, this is a dope book on personal finance, and it's definitely allowed me to understand money more. And yeah, I can definitely say I have not a lot of money, but I'm better off financially now than I was because of this book here. Book number 5. Oh crap, there's actually 2 books. I'm gonna squeeze 2 in on number 5. Shoot me. And I don't have either of those books because I've lent them to people and they haven't given them back. So one of the books is The Secret. Very similar to like the laws of attraction. Now that book is a really good book, and it does allow you to understand how thoughts become things in a nutshell. Meaning you think about things before they manifest. It teaches you how everything that you push out in terms of energy, the universe or God, whichever, brings it back to you. So it trains your mind on how to think positively, and trust me, it really works. The laws of attraction, I mean, it's nothing new per se, but when you read it, it really, it hits home, which means that you manifest goodness around you if you think about goodness, like consciously. And if you're even thinking about a goal, to really imagine it, get the feelings going, and then also ensure you do act towards it for it to actually happen. So one big thing about The Secret, it's not about just saying, oh, I want to be this. They really key into, you have to be able to feel the person you're going to become. You have to be able to feel the environment you're going to be in for that thing to manifest, and how things will align around you. Laws of attraction, The Secret, it works. Whether you call it God, the universe, whatever, the laws of attraction, it really works. The second, 5th book, right, is The Richest Man in Babylon. Whoo, I love that book. Now that book is about financial freedom, stability, financial wisdom. And the reason why I love it so much is it's written as a story of a merchant a long time ago in the days of Babylon. So you can see that the teachings of finance and wealth, all of that is something that starts from an earlier time. It's not just about money, the paper notes. They talk about the days where there wasn't physical paper called money, where it was a barter, where you had camels, you had gold, and the principles are still the same when we're talking about paper notes. So The Richest Man in Babylon, an amazing book. I've literally read that maybe like 4 times. It's really amazing, and I love the story, and it really shows you how wealth can be somewhat, generational. How you can do enough that your kids will be able to eat off of the money that you've left behind. So if you want to get your finances straight and you don't want something too too theoretical, whatever, and you want a story, read The Richest Man in Babylon. So guys, those are my top 5 books. Those 5 books / 6 books had a real positive impact in my life. If you feel the same way, please leave a comment below. And if you have any other amazing books you want to share with me that I may have read or may not have, please leave a comment below. What I would say is that if you haven't read those books, go and read them. If you're not really a reader, audiobooks are even on YouTube, so you can always listen, but I would recommend that you read or take in this information, either audio or, you know, written. And let me know how you get on. Thank you guys so much for watching Lola OJ TV, and if you haven't, make sure you subscribe and help a sister out. Bye guys.